Imagine walking alone at night, on a silent road, with nothing around you except darkness stretching for miles. Now imagine your phone ringing, and on the other side is your child, breathing, talking, trying to find his way home. And then suddenly, he whispers two words you'll never forget. Oh, shit. No scream, no crash, no sound of running, just silence. A silence that lasted the rest of the night, and the next 16 years. This is the disappearance of Brandon Swanson, a case so confusing, so unsettling, so impossible, that even investigators call it one of the strangest vanishings in American history. Tonight, we're going to walk the same path Brandon walked, step by step, clue by clue, until we reach the moment he disappeared, a moment no one has ever been able to explain. Welcome to DarkFiles TV. Let's begin. It was a quiet Tuesday night in rural Minnesota, when 19-year-old Brandon Swanson stepped out of a small gathering, smiled at his friends, and walked toward his car, with no idea he was about to become one of America's most baffling mysteries. Nothing about that night felt unusual. No tension, no arguments, no strange behavior, just a young man ending his first year of college, heading home the way he had so many times before. Brandon was smart, responsible, and loved deeply by his family. He wasn't the kind of kid who caused trouble. He always checked in. He had plans. He had goals. He had a future he was excited about. Sometime around midnight, after leaving the gathering, Brandon made a wrong turn. A simple mistake, the kind anyone could make, on a dark, rural road, with no street lights, no markers, and miles of farmland stretching endlessly in every direction. At 1:54 a.m., his Chevy Lumina slid gently into a shallow ditch. No crash, no impact, no panic, just a soft slide into the dirt. Brandon wasn't hurt. The car wasn't damaged. It simply wouldn't move. After trying to reverse a few times, he gave up and pulled out his phone. He called the two people he trusted the most, his parents. His father, Brian, answered. Brandon sounded calm, perfectly calm. No fear, no stress. Just a simple request that he'd gone off the road near the town of Lind and needed a ride home. His parents got out of bed, grabbed their keys, and drove toward the location he described. They told him to stay near the car. Brandon agreed. When they got there, they flashed their headlights, honked the horn. Brandon said he could see them, but they couldn't see him. Nothing around them. No car, no light, no movement. That was the first strange moment. How could Brandon see their truck, but they couldn't see him? Brian told him to flash his headlights. Brandon did. Still, nothing. Brandon insisted they were close. His father insisted they weren't. Finally, Brandon said he'd start walking toward the lights of Lind, which he thought were nearby. Brian stayed on the call. For the next 47 minutes, father and son talked continuously, while Brandon walked alone in the dark. He described fences, gravel, shapes he could barely make out, lights that looked close, but never seemed to get any nearer. Brian kept him calm, kept him focused, kept him talking, but neither of them knew Brandon wasn't anywhere near Lind. He was 25 miles away, in a different county, walking through farmland with no houses, no signs, and no help for miles. He didn't know he was lost. He didn't know each step was taking him deeper into isolation. He had no map, no landmarks, nothing but a phone signal holding on by luck. Still, Brandon remained calm, not scared, not panicking, just trying to reach a road and meet his parents. And then, around 2:15 a.m., Brandon suddenly said, in a quiet, startled whisper, "Oh, shit." And then, silence. No thud, no splash, no cry for help, no footsteps, no struggle, just silence. Brian stayed on the line, calling his son's name over and over. The call never disconnected. It stayed open for nearly 2 hours, but Brandon never spoke again. No parent should ever have to hear silence, where their child's voice should be. The next morning, police traced the call, and what they found stunned everyone. Brandon had not been near Lind. He'd been near Porter, Minnesota, almost 30 minutes away. His car was right where the signal placed it, sitting in a ditch on a quiet gravel road. No damage, no broken glass, no skid marks, no signs of a struggle, Just a normal car. Stuck in normal dirt. On a very abnormal night. When search dogs arrived, the mystery deepened. They followed Brandon's scent through fields, over a fence, down a gravel path, and toward the Yellow Medicine River. They indicated he went down the embankment, and possibly into the water. But then something unexpected happened. On the other side of the river, Brandon's scent continued. He made it across, but just a short distance later, his trail ended, completely. No scent, no footprints, no belongings, nothing. It was as if he walked forward and simply disappeared. Investigators considered everything. Maybe he slipped. Maybe he drowned. Maybe he collapsed. But months of searching found nothing. No remains. No clothes. No phone. No wallet. A drowning victim leaves evidence. Something floats. Something surfaces. But here, nothing. Some pointed to abandoned farm wells, deep, hidden, and dangerous. But the ones they searched showed no sign of him. Then came the idea of foul play. Maybe someone else was out there. A driver, a stranger, a farmer. Brandon's final whisper. Oh, shit. Sounds like someone who saw something. Unexpected. But police found no tire marks. No unusual prints. No signs of another person. Some believe Brandon became disoriented. Pitch-black farmland can twist your sense of direction. Distances feel wrong. Lights fool you. You lose track of where you are and where you're going. But even then, how does someone disappear completely? His father remembers Brandon's tone. Right before the silence. It wasn't fear. It wasn't pain. It was surprise. Like he saw something he didn't expect. Every year, volunteers return to those fields. They walk the same paths, search the same woods, check the same riverbanks. His parents have walked miles and miles, hoping for a clue. Anything. Nothing has ever appeared. Brandon's disappearance led to Brandon's Law, a requirement for immediate search efforts for missing adults. His case changed the entire state. But even now, there are no answers, no evidence, no remains, no trace of him at all. The haunting question remains. What did Brandon see in that final moment before he whispered, "Oh, shit"? Was it a sudden drop? A hole? An animal? Another person? Or something no one has considered? How does a 19-year-old vanish? While talking on the phone, walking a trail dogs could follow, crossing a river, and then leaving nothing behind? Some mysteries grow cold, some fade, but this one stays, because it defies logic and challenges everything we think we know about missing persons. If you have any information about the disappearance of Brandon Swanson, contact the Leon County Sheriff's Office for more real mysteries, unsolved vanishings, and true crime cases that go deeper. Subscribe to DarkFiles TV. Some stories don't fade, some questions don't quiet down, and some mysteries wait, year after year, for answers. This is DarkFiles TV. Thank you for watching.